We are here for a continued preliminary hearing. We've had a number of adjournments in the past. The most recent one was Mr. Delaney asking for some additional time to speak with his client. Mr. Delaney, have you had sufficient time now?
Guys, today we are going to witness a powerful courtroom drama. The judge sets the stage for what's to come as the tension builds.
I have. My client is not waiving the initial hearing and is requesting a contested preliminary hearing.
All right. Mr. Sommerfeld, how do you wish to proceed then?
Judge, the department would like to call Andrea Cerveny. She's the CPS investigator that filed this petition.
All right. Ms. Cerveny, would you raise your right hand so I can swear you in, please? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Would you please state your full name for the record, please? Spell your last name.
Yep. Andrea Cerveny, Serveny.
All right. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Mr. Sommerfeld.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Cerveny, how are you employed?
I work for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services in Otsego County.
Thank you. Are you familiar with the children Caden Robinson, Waylon Stowe, and Phoenix Stowe?
Yes.
And who is the mother of Caden's Robinson?
Robin Robinson.
And is she a respondent in this matter?
She is not.
Okay. And then Waylon Stowe and Phoenix Stowe, who is their mother?
Paige Warner.
And is she a respondent in this matter?
She is not.
Okay. And who is the father of all of the children?
Jeremy Stowe.
And is he present today?
Yes.
All right. Do you recognize him on the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me, how did you get involved with these parents and the children I've identified, Caden Robinson, Waylon, and Phoenix Stowe?
I was on call and we received a referral that got assigned from centralized intake, concerns of sexual abuse that occurred on New Year's Eve, of this year, from Jeremy Stowe to Cadence Robinson.
Okay, so what you've described is what came in from central intake. Is that how you receive complaints?
Yes.
All right, so what did you do? What was your next step?
My next step, we scheduled a forensic interview at the Children's Assessment Center.
Okay, did you speak with the mom first?
I did, yes.
Yeah, and that we're talking about the mother of Cadence Robinson. This is Robin Robinson?
Yes.
Okay, and about when did that meeting take place?
I believe it was the day after we received the complaint.
Okay, so are we talking is what month and what year?
It would have been March of 2025. Or was it February? Sorry. I don't have the date.
I'm looking on the petition, page 7. It says something about January 21st of 2025.
Yes, my apologies. Yes, sorry.
And so you made contact with Robin Robinson. What did you guys talk about?
She had told me that her daughter sent her a text and said that she wanted to talk to her. And then that was, she stated that Cadence had opened up to her about an incident that occurred over on New Year's Eve with her dad. Said that he touched her inappropriately and she was really uncomfortable. That was the basis of our conversation.
Okay, when you say that he touched her and it was inappropriate, can you be more specific?
She said that he touched her breasts and her vagina area.
Okay. So what was the next step after that? Is that, were the police contacted about this?
They were, yes, they were already involved. They had gotten involved prior to us being involved.
Okay, and what agency was what police entity who got involved?
I believe it was Michigan State Police.
Okay, and was it specifically a Trooper Benjamin?
Yes,
And did you have conversations with Trooper Benjamin regarding this incident?
yes.
What steps, if any, did he take in furtherance of finding out facts here?
He interviewed Jeremy, so he wasn't able to be present. Oh wait, yeah, he wasn't present at the Children's Assessment Center for the forensic interview, but he did have another trooper attend on his behalf. So he did watch the video of the interview. He, like I said, also interviewed Jeremy. I believe he interviewed a couple other witnesses. The individuals that were allegedly at the house when the abuse occurred.
Okay, did Trooper Benjamin, did he talk with Robin and Cadence Robinson prior to the CAC?
Yes.
And do you know anything about that interview?
Not specifically.
Okay. In your petition on page 8, it talks about Cadence told Trooper Benjamin that this was the first time her father had done anything like this to her, and after the incident, he told her not to tell anyone what he did. Do you remember writing that?
Yes.
And where did you get that information?
I believe it was a conversation that Robin and I had,
Okay.
a
And
phone conversation.
did it ever come up, you said New Year's Eve, was there any kind of partying going on?
Yes.
Can you tell us about what you learned during the course of the investigation?
I learned that, do you mean like the whole thing or just,
No, was Jeremy still drinking that night?
yes,
And this is the night I'm talking about is New Year's Eve. Sometime that night or maybe early morning, New Year's Day.
yes,
Was this the same? Was he drinking during this incident that Cadence reported her father touching her breasts in private area?
yes,
All right. You said you went to the CAC. Is that the Children's Assessment Center?
yes.
And who went there?
It was Cadence Robinson, Robin Robinson, myself, Trooper, I think it was Trooper Carlson, I could be wrong. And then the interviewer obviously was there as well.
Okay. And how old is Cadence?
She's 12, 13.
Did Cadence make any disclosures at the Child Advocacy Center regarding what she had told her mother and then told the police officer, Trooper Benjamin?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
She stated that Jeremy, herself, and her brother were staying the night at a friend's house, Steven Swinehart and Meadow Ferguson. Cadence reported that she was forced to share a bed with Jeremy and she didn't want to. She also said her brother was in the bed. she said that she didn't have very much space on the bed. He had made attempts to cuddle with her and she was scooching away. And then he touched her breast under her bra. And she also said her words were bottom piece. I believe she was talking about her butt. Cadence reported that she told her dad to stop being weird, and that he shouldn't be touching her because she was only 11. Sorry, she's 11. I'm sorry. And she's 11. She said that Jeremy was rubbing the skin on the outside of her vagina with his fingers under her clothes. She also disclosed that there was penetration and that he did touch the inside of her girl parts.
Okay, you used the words he a couple times. Who were you referring to? Who was touching Cadence?
Jeremy Stowe.
All right. There's on page 9, letter Q, you have in your petition, it said, Cadence told her dad, you shouldn't be doing this because you're 32 years old and I'm 11. Did you witness that? Did you hear it?
Was I there when she said it?
Yeah.
Not to her dad, but that was what she reported that she said in the forensic interview.
Yes, at the CAC center.
Yes, I did.
Sorry, I wasn't clear.
Yeah.
So did Cadence, was she ever able to explain why she didn't disclose right away? I mean, it sounds like it was a couple of weeks later.
I think she was just scared and uncomfortable and didn't really know how to process what happened. And it just took her some time to be able to be comfortable with sharing that with her mom.
Okay, and then Jeremy Stowe is reported to have told his daughter not to tell anybody.
Yes, I'm sure that had an influence on her not wanting to say anything as well.
Okay, so what ended up happening? Did the police investigation continue based upon this new information?
Yes,
And did the police ever interview Jeremy Stowe?
they did.
And do you know when about that happened?
It would have been the end of January or beginning of, it was February 6th of 2025.
Okay. And what about the interview with Jeremy Stowe and the state police? Did he make any admissions or did he deny these allegations?
He denied the allegations.
Ultimately, was there any further criminal action taken in this place against the dad?
Yes, he was arrested and charged with a CSC.
The father's denial shakes things up, but the investigation doesn't stop here. As law enforcement digs deeper, we get closer to the truth.
And this, when you say CSC, that's criminal sexual conduct?
Yes,
Okay. And what county was he charged with criminal sexual conduct?
Sheboygan County.
Okay. But at the time of the incident, the children were domiciled in Gaylord, Otsego County.
Yes,
All right. And so he is, do you know anything more about those charges, if they have progressed, or are we still in the beginning stages?
still in the beginning stages.
Okay. Are you asking the court to authorize this petition based upon your testimony today?
Yes,
Do you believe that there is a substantial risk of harm to the children, to their life, their physical health, or their mental well-being?
Yes.
Can you tell us why?
There's a concern that Jeremy would inappropriately touch Cadence again if she were to return to her father.
Okay, and the other children are at risk also.
Yes.
Was there any service or other arrangement that was reasonably available to adequately safeguard the children from this substantial risk of harm?
No.
And when you say, again, are we going back to the reason because of the charges of criminal sexual conduct, father to daughter?
Yes.
Is continuing the children in the home of Jeremy Stowe, is it contrary to the children's welfare?
Yes.
Can you tell us why it is contrary to the welfare?
Due to potential continued sexual abuse.
Were there reasonable efforts that were made to prevent the removal here?
Yes.
But what Mr. Stowe, Jeremy Stowe, has been charged with, would you categorize that as an aggravated circumstance?
I would.
Okay. And are conditions away from Jeremy Stowe, that being the children away from Jeremy Stowe, are they adequate to safeguard the children's health and welfare?
Yes.
And can you tell us why?
Do you mean with their moms, their respective mothers? Is that what you're?
Yeah, I'm asking, are conditions away from Jeremy Stowe, are they adequate to safeguard the children's health and welfare?
Yes. They are both safe with their I guess there's 4 children, but they're all safe with their respective mothers and away from Jeremy at this time.
Okay, and that's just because he's not in their proximity to perhaps do this again, that being the criminal sexual conduct.
Correct.
Okay, you mentioned a 4th child. He's not subject to this petition?
He resides in Sheboygan County with his mother, and a petition was filed in Sheboygan County, and we are in the process of that as well.
Okay, and so while there are technically 4 children, only 3 of them reside in Otsego County.
Correct.
All right. I have nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Cross-examination, Mr. Delaney.
2 questions. Question 1, Mr. Stowe, as you indicated, has denied these charges. Is that correct?
Yes.
Question 2, to date, Mr. Stowe has not been found guilty or responsible for these charges in any court. Is that true?
That's true, yes.
All right, I have no further questions.
Any questions from the GAL?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, any further, I have no questions of this witness. Any further evidence or witnesses, Mr. Sommerfeld?
No, Judge, not for purposes of preliminary hearing.
All right, Mr. Delaney, do you wish to present any witnesses or evidence as to the preliminary hearing?
I do not, thank you.
Mr. Brown, any witnesses or evidence as to the preliminary hearing?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, Mr. Sommerfeld, do you wish to have any closing statement as to the prelim? And then I assume we're going to go into the removal aspects of this.
Yeah, I'll explain, Judge, as brief as I can be. Judge, with Mr. Stowe being criminally charged for criminal sexual conduct, the same allegations in the petition, arrests are based on probable cause. That is our standard today. So it is, the probable cause is clearly met. I have gone through the 5 questions. The substantial risk of harm, no service or other arrangement reasonably available, contrary to welfare, reasonable efforts. While reasonable efforts were made and outlined in the petition, they're not necessary here because we alleged aggravating circumstances, that being the first-degree criminal sexual conduct activity of Mr. Stowe, and also that the conditions away from Mr. Stowe are adequate to safeguard the children. So based upon the petition, the testimony of Ms. Servney, and the standards that we need to meet today, I would ask the court to authorize the petition and then set this matter for a pretrial. And then if the court decides to authorize the petition based upon probable cause, that at the end of the hearing, that the family division of the court, that they would send the JC 111 advice of rights to Mr. Stowe. Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Delaney?
Judge, for the purposes of the nature of this hearing, I have no further position with the court at this time.
All right, Mr. Brown, your thoughts?
Hi, Your Honor. I believe that the department, for purposes of this hearing, has clearly met its burden and the court should authorize this petition.
All right. I
Your
do
Honor.
find that there's,
Your Honor,
I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
believe Ms. Nesberg is raising her hand.
Ms. Nesberg, yes.
Interrupt, Your Honor. I didn't know when you needed me to give the expert witness testimony.
Well, and that's kind of what I was asking Mr. Sommerfeld, what his plan was for that. So, Mr. Sommerfeld?
Judge, the expert testimony is required at termination of parental rights, not for authorization of the petition, not for purposes of jurisdiction. But if the case proceeds as far to termination of parental rights, the petition outlines, and I'm just pulling this out again. On page 4, it cites the court rule, and this is under MCR 3.977G, termination of parental rights to an Indian child. So at that point in the process, if this case proceeds that far, it said the court would have to, there would be required findings that parental rights to a parent of an Indian child must not be terminated unless there were the active efforts have been made to provide remedial service and rehabilitative programs designed to prevent the breakup of the Indian family, and that these efforts have proved unsuccessful. And further, that the court finds evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, including testimony of at least one qualified expert witness described under MCL 712B.17. That would be Ms. Nesberg, that parental rights should be terminated because custody of the child by the parent or Indian custodian will likely result in serious emotional or physical damage to the child. So that would come at a later date. However, it is good practice. We should always have a representative from the tribe here if they can be here. At a minimum, we would have to have in the court file that the court did send notice and if they chose not to show up, as long as notice was provided, we could still proceed, but we would still need that expert testimony for termination purposes if we get that far.
All right, Ms. Nesberg, does that answer your question?
Expert witness testimony is also required at removal of the children, and we consider this a removal due to father not being able to at any point go get his children as he normally would.
All right, just to be safe, I think it would be appropriate to take some testimony from Ms. Nesberg as to the removal aspects of this. I do believe that there is a requirement for the tribe to be heard on this, and I want to make sure that we give the tribe every opportunity to have their voice spoken in our state court proceedings. So Ms. Nesberg, I'm going to swear you in. If you raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Emotionally charged and heart-wrenching, this section uncovers why Cadence stayed silent for so long.
Yes.
Mr. Sommerfeld, do you have some questions that you could ask for her to indicate the tribe's understanding in the proceedings and the necessity of the tribe's voice during the removal process?
Sure, Judge. Ms. Nesberg, can you tell us your qualifications to act in the capacity as a representative from the tribe in a matter of a removal petition in state court regarding an Indian
Sioux tribe member. I am a Sioux tribe member. I work for the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians, and I have been designated by our tribe to provide expert testimony in these matters.
Okay, have you acted in that capacity at other times?
Yes, I've been in this position for just over 15 years. I've testified approximately 508 times.
All right, thank you. Were you able to listen to the testimony of Ms. Servney today?
Yes.
And do you have knowledge of what is alleged in the petition here?
Yes.
And based upon what you've heard today from Ms. Servney and your knowledge of the removal petition, what is the tribe's position on the removal of Mr. Stowe's children from Jeremy Stowe, with all of them being members of the tribe?
It is my and the tribe's position that there is a substantial risk of harm to all the children if the children were to remain in their father's care due to the disclosure of sexual abuse by Cadence. It is also our position that active efforts were made, but due to, again, the disclosure of sexual abuse, that there were no other further active efforts that could be made to prevent that removal.
Okay, so you believe that the continued custodian with Mr. Stowe having custody of his children is likely to result in serious emotional or physical damage to the children, just having that contact and the ability to guide and parent them.
I'm sorry, I said yes. I
Okay,
didn't know if you heard me. Sorry.
No, thank you. We did not hear you, but I appreciate the follow-up.
so, and do you have knowledge of, Ms. Nesper, do you have knowledge of child rearing practices in the tribe?
I do.
Okay, and so when you say that, can you be specific? Are you referencing Mr. Stowe's alleged criminal sexual conduct to his daughter, and that presents this substantial risk of harm, and why the children need to be away from their father and removed?
That's correct.
All right. I have nothing further, Judge. And Judge, I apologize. There's another section here that I overlooked. It's MCR 3.967. And I was asking some of the questions under Rule D about what evidence is required. And I believe that has been presented.
I would agree with you, Mr. Sommerfeld. Thank you very much for assisting the court in that. Mr. Delaney, do you have any questions for this witness?
I do not. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, any questions for this witness?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Let me just take a moment and make sure we've covered everything under the 3.967 that I believe would be necessary. I think we've covered all of that. Thank you very much, Ms. Nesberg. I appreciate your testimony today. All right, as to both preliminary hearing and removal, Mr. Sommerfeld, is there anything else that you want to add by way of a closing statement?
No, just to authorize the petition. I think everything has been checked here. I know there's a higher scrutiny when the Department of Health and Human Services removes an Indian child. Just the addition of the advice of rights if the court does authorize the petition.
All right, Mr. Delaney, anything else that you want to add both to the authorization process for the preliminary hearing and also the removal?
No further position. Thank you.
Mr. Brown, as to you?
Your Honor, I still believe the petition should be authorized and the removal is appropriate and necessary.
All right. Excuse me. All right, the court does find that there is probable cause to authorize the petition. There has been testimony that the underlying facts show criminal sexual conduct by the testimony of the victim in this case, and she reported it to not only her mother, but also to the police and also through a forensic interview that was conducted. The criminal sexual conduct includes penetration and sexual touching on New Year's Eve in Sheboygan County. It's appropriate in Otsego County because that's the residence of where the children live. And I do find that I will authorize the petition at this time. I also find that removal is necessary due to the aggravating circumstances of the criminal sexual conduct allegations, which takes away the reasonable and active efforts, many of those requirements. I do find that there is a substantial risk of harm to the kids due to the criminal sexual conduct perpetrated on Cadence and likely to occur to Waylon and Phoenix if if they were allowed to be in Dad's presence and live within his residence. I do also find that there are no services available to prevent that risk of harm, and it would be therefore contrary to the welfare of the children to be placed back in the home of the father. And I then also find that the requirements for removal under the more stringent requirements of Rule 3.967 for the removal of an Indian child have also been met, that the evidence shows that they may be removed and taken into protective custody and removed from the parent upon clear and convincing evidence that active efforts have been made and no rehabilitative programs designed to prevent the breakup of the family would be successful. And given the allegations in this case of criminal sexual conduct, I do not believe that there would be any services that could be provided that would be successful in rehabilitating and reuniting the family, and that would result in serious emotional and or physical damage to the children if they were to be placed with the father at this time, given the allegations, and that those active efforts were taken into account by the qualified expert witness of Ms. Nesberg, and that she has testified that all of those requirements have been met in this case and does recommend, as does the tribe, that the children be removed. And so the court will grant that request and make that order that the children are removed and shall remain placed with their respective mothers. Mr. Sommerfeld, the court will send out the advice of rights form on appeal to the father. So Mr. Stowe, you have the right to appeal this decision. You will be receiving from the court a document that Mr. Sommerfeld referenced that will explain that in more detail to you. If you have any questions, certainly consult with your attorney, Mr. Delaney. He's well aware of your right to appeal, and you may do that and must do that within the appropriate time limits. So you have that opportunity now if you wish to. Otherwise, the case will proceed until and unless you do that appeal. The children will remain with the mothers. Dad is to have no contact with the children. That would be directly or indirectly. May not do it through third parties, may not do it through social media or electronic communications. Anything else that you'd ask the court to order, Mr. Sommerfeld?
No, Judge.
Mr. Delaney, anything from your perspective?
Nothing further, thank you.
Mr. Brown, anything from your perspective?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Do either of the mothers have any questions about the court's order?
No. No.
All right.
I have one
Ms.
more
Nesbitt,
thing, Judge.
go ahead, Mr. Summerfeld.
No, when you're ready. I'm sorry to interrupt, Judge.
Go right ahead.
Because the petition alleges aggravating circumstances, I just want to make it clear that there will not be reasonable efforts because of those aggravating circumstances.
And the court understood that, and the court believes that that's an accurate statement of the law, and therefore that is how we will proceed. Ms. Nesberg, thank you very much for your testimony today. We appreciate your willingness to work with our scheduling. Thank you very much for being here. That will be the order of the court.
And here we are, the final ruling. The judge, after hearing all the evidence, decides to authorize the petition and removes the children from their father's care. The court's decision is made, but this case is far from over. This is just the beginning of the journey for justice and the children's safety.